Good afternoon, friends, colleagues, and from that rally, I'm gonna say shit starters, right? Yeah, right? So thank y'all for having me. It is an honor to be here. And when I say it's an honor to be here, I don't think y'all understand how excited I am to be here. Like I said, my birthday was Tuesday. I have a, thank you. I'm flying back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I have a lunch tomorrow afternoon and a birthday party tomorrow night. But when my team was like, are you gonna go to Toronto? I was like, hell yeah. First of all, I like labor. I love what y'all are doing, and y'all have an election on Monday. Side note, don't fuck it up. Ooh, sorry. Okay, that's one. Okay, somebody's gonna have to give me a cuss counter. I promise I'm gonna try not to cuss as much. But again, y'all look, I live in the South, I live in DC, and it's sad there. Cheeto Satan and his merry band of oligarchs are like, taking us to hell, So for real, y'all cannot mess this up, because I'm gonna need someplace to go when they kick my ass out of the States, okay? Y'all know I'm being dead serious. So with that, I'm about to get very prim and proper and start my speech. Now again, I might get off script. I am actually gonna get off script at the beginning. How many people in here are under the age of 30? Y'all are not loud. How many people are under the age of 30? Okay, so I want y'all to really listen to what I'm about to say, because I started in politics long before I was 30. I was like 24. I'm still doing it, but I have evolved in it. So the shit gets hard, you get frustrated, but if you stick to it, you will have your lane, okay? So this is not just for them, it's for everybody, but I want y'all to dig in and listen, all right? Call and response, I say, all right? All right, thank you. Okay, so the title of my speech is Taking Moments and Building into Movements, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about for 20 minutes. Is somebody supposed to have a timer right here? I guess not. Somebody tap me when I'm, yeah. So, okay, all right, so here we go. I've already did my 2 pages. I'm kind of still on script. All right, so how many of you all know who Assata Shakur is? Probably not a lot of them. Assata Shakur is a Black Panther woman who is actually exiled in Cuba. She once said that all you have to do is ask yourself who controls the government and who are the victims of that control. So I want you all to sit with that. Again, who controls the government and who are the victims of that control? When you sit for that, I want you to think about the work that you do every single day. You care for the sick, you care for you teach the next generation, you protect the vulnerable, you build systems, deliver services, and hold the line when everything else breaks down. You are the reason why your country works, full stop. And I'm gonna repeat that again. You are the reason why your country works, full fucking stop. All right? But, real talk, we find ourselves in the same position every couple of months, every couple of years, scrambling through a crisis, reacting to budget cuts, clawing back things that should have never been taken in the first place. That shit's frustrating. It's like deja vu every election. Like, I'm tired of fighting the same fights in the States, so I know y'all tired of fighting the same fights here. So we should not have to defend stuff that should be guaranteed. Basic human rights should be guaranteed, so why are we defending it every election? I mean, we deserve better, our communities deserve better, our future deserves better. But that means we have to change the way we fight. And when I say change the way we fight, we've been fighting the same way, getting the same kind of results with small wins here and there, so we have to change the way we fight. Moments mobilize, movement organize. So let's talk about the difference between a movement and a moment. Moments, they're sexy. Moments are fast, they're electric, they're urgent. I mean, y'all just had a big rally, powerful speeches. Everybody gets so hyped. They get hyped, they're ready, set, go. But don't get me wrong, a good rally, a good protest, that's all sexy and fun. It sparks the movement. It sparks it. But sparks alone don't keep the fire going. Moments get people in the streets. Movements keep them there with purpose, discipline, and strategy. Moments make noise. Movements build lasting power. Ask yourself, do you want to win for the weekend or for a generation? Oh, thank you so much, because I'm sweating. Look at Jesus, look at God. Okay, because I'm sweating, y'all. But that generation was kind of tied. Do y'all want to win for the weekend or for a generation? All right, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I'm call and response, so if y'all think I'm being rhetorical, I'm not, so just answer, okay? All right, so because here's the thing. The issues we're fighting for, underfunded public services, dangerous loads, privatized, eroding bargaining rights, that's all bullshit. And it's not random and it's not accidents. They're results of deliberate, calculated, slow grind strategies to beat you down, dismember public systems, and shift the power to fewer and fewer hands. Y'all know that, right? Because it ain't designed for us. They are playing a long game. When I say long game, they've been playing 5D chess and we've been playing checkers. We gotta change that shit. We have to change it now. Deep, deep, deep organizing starts with us. And when I say deep organizing, I'm not talking about rallying people for a vote or a protest. I'm not talking about sending memes out or the occasional email blast. I ain't talking about that. I mean, all that's cute, but that does not build long-term movements. I'm talking about real infrastructure, real leadership, and real community. And it starts inside of the union. Like I know y'all have like 100,000 people at Cost of Providence and about 3,000 people here today. But the reality is that with all these people, everybody's not gonna agree on everything, right? So as you think about that, you still have to make sure that your foundation is solid so that when you go out and fight for the community, they won't see the cracks in the armor. And fun fact, cracks are not necessarily bad. In Asian cultures, when something is cracked, what they do to fix it is they repair it with gold. So although you see the cracks, it's more beautiful than it was when it broke. So understanding that cracks are not always bad, as long as you fill them with gold. And that gold is to unify and understand that you all are still fighting for the same thing. Understand that? All right. So what that means is I know some of you all know people who are in the union who never show up to meetings, y'all only see them on the workplace. But the issue is that it's your job, not the leadership's job, to talk to them and make them feel included, right? So you might have to talk to them 4 or 5 times, but still make sure they understand that, you know what, we're all a part of this union. And I mean, think about the person who's on probation. They probably did some stupid shit, but they're still part of the union, so talk to them. The paramedic who's too tired to go to a meeting, a new young person who doesn't understand it, they're still part of the union. So they need to understand it's more than just being a part of the union. It's more about, it's not just about being represented by the union, it's also about representing the union. So it goes hand in hand. So it's not like, yeah, I'm a part of the union. My niece is a teacher, so she's a part of the union. And she was like, Auntie, these women crazy. I was like, yeah, but you look crazy too. So find your crazy partner and turn shit out. Okay, I'm gonna try to stop cussing y'all, but I'm trying. Because the reality is that the union is only as strong as its ability to listen and reflect and act for every single member. Every member. Y'all hear that? We're gonna say it again. Every member. All right, say it one more time. All right, so because the thing about it, this is not accidental work. This is intentional work. I told somebody, I know y'all hear about the thing, that black girl magic. I told somebody the other day, my magic is not mystical, it's intentional. That means it's intentional about how the work I'm doing. So some of y'all might not have the black girl magic, but you have the intentional magic that you move in your unions, okay? So as you're moving, be intentional. The intentional work will also move from the unions to the community. We'll get to the community in a little bit, right? So we need to build at every single level. So members just feel represented, they feel responsible for the work that the union is doing. Not just represented, but also responsible for the work. Because the reality is that if somebody knows they're a union member, they can say, well, I didn't vote for that. Well, why didn't you vote for that? Well, I didn't go to the meeting. Why didn't you go to the meeting? No, I'm just a union member. That should never be their answer. So it has to be intentional. They have to feel like they're also responsible for the work. So how we do that? We have to actually make sure that not only the members feel engaged, but the community feels engaged. We have to make sure that the people who don't show up understand why they gotta show up. And then when you get them to the meetings, now you have to start being a part of the community. A lot of people, like we're part of the community, but sometimes we don't act like we're part of the community. When we get home, we take off our union hats, and the community doesn't understand that we're also part of the community. So they don't see that we're the community that we're trying to protect, because we don't act like we're part of the community we're trying to protect. So the thing about it is that you can't just serve the public, you're also the public. So that's your responsibility. Your families live there, your children go to the schools, your parents live in the hospitals or long-term cares. You all are part of our community, and that means you actually have to take a leadership in making sure the community understands what the laborer is doing. Y'all got real quiet, I'm stepping on some toes. Okay, I'm gonna put my heels on and keep stepping. This is the thing. If we organize for ourselves, we lose every time. I'm gonna repeat that. If we organize just for ourselves and just for our unions, we lose every time, right? Because the people that we're fighting for, oh yeah, that's an applause line. There you go, thank you. Because the people that we're fighting for sees us as self-serving. And being a self-serving union member never helped anybody. Like, I'm gonna tell you, quick aside, there's a union in the States. They actually split their endorsement between Kamala Harris and Cheeto Satan. And, right. And now half of their members are pissed off because they thought he was fighting for his values. And we were like, when has Cheeto Satan ever fought for the working man? But they saw themselves separate. Well, we didn't know he was gonna do it to us. The timeless fucking violin. Who did you think he was fighting for? He ain't never fought for you. But the reality is that the union disconnected. The union didn't make us understand that fighting for union values is fighting for community values. It's not just fighting for individual values. So now we're dealing with that disconnect in the States. Y'all don't need to do that here. Because again, Monday, and I've been watching these commercials. Y'all cannot let Trump Jr. get up in there, right? Because he looked like he might, I ain't playing. And the thing about it is that real talk, I can't even call him Trump Jr. because he looks like he's actually smart. So that means y'all really gonna have a problem because Trump ain't that smart. I digress. See, I got off script. Let me get back. Okay. So you cannot just organize for the strike, for the battle blocks. You have to organize all year long. The day after the election, leading up to the election, all year long. But it's just not about policy, it's about power. We are fighting for better staffing, safer workloads, and fair wages. But it's also bigger than that. This fight is about the people who hold power in our society. Will it stay in the hands of the few, hoarded by, people who like to drive, say they claim Tesla, things of that nature, who like to do Hail Hitler signs, and all these oligarchs, or would it be held by the community, the public sector, people like you? That's a question you have to ask you yourself. I know the answer to that, but you have to make sure you understand that answer. We have to make sure that the public sees us in the fight. Sees us every day, but not just for them. So that means going to community meetings, talking to your neighbors, letting them know that, yeah, I'm a union member, but it's for our larger community. I know y'all be tired. I worked at AFT for a long time. Some of them days it was long. But the reality is that I would get up and go to local meetings, and I would take my AFT hat off, but talk about what was going on in the community, and that made it much more stronger. I didn't have to worry about bargaining, but the teachers understood, and the students and parents understood, oh yeah, she works for the union, so let's hear what she has to say. They need to say, they might not know your name, but if they know you work for the union and you show up outside of work time, outside of bargaining, that changes the whole thing. It makes it feel like you all care, not just when you have a contract up. And the reality is that because they're trying to divide us, they do that. We allow them to divide us because we have actually stopped doing the work. Thinking back in the day, you knew every union member, you knew everybody in your community, but how many people know that community know what's happening in your union, in your community, without you actually seeing it on the news? Don't answer that, because I'm afraid what it's gonna look like. All right, so as we, I got jokes. So as we think about what we can do, in your personal time, everybody's on social media. Y'all can do social media things of that nature. That's not tied to the work. You can do that, but it's about being authentic and true to yourself, right? It's about when you're walking your dog, talking to your neighbor. It's about making sure they understand and they connect, and be authentic as possible. Because one thing people can do is see through the bullshit. They can tell, oh, I ain't heard from her in 6 months. All of a sudden now she's talking to me, and somebody say, yeah, the election's tomorrow. Yeah, bargain's tomorrow. Don't do that. Because then they're going to be like, LaToia told me. LaToia didn't tell you to do that. LaToia told you to be authentic part of the community. So as we do that, being authentic will change the way. But it's a grind, and it's going to be exhausting. Side note, when y'all do this, understand rest is still important. Rest is a form of resistance. So I know I'm telling you all to go and do work outside of your communities, outside your job, and to do this, all of that. But also make sure you rest, because this is going to be a long-term fight, and if you don't put rest in between that, you will burn yourself out, and you won't be good for your job, your community, or your family. So that's just a side note, because again, rest is a form of resistance. Get some rest. Okay, I'm going to be back on point, but let me just say this. Being burned out is not a badge of honor. I'm going to say it again. Being burned out is not a badge of honor. So I know I'm off script, but I have to tell you, please make sure you take time for yourself. Arrested organizer, arrested activist is the most powerful activist we have out there, all right? So you can say, LaToya told me that. So, okay, now back to the system. All right. So, we have to remember who we're fighting for. We have to remember how to organize. Because when we organize effectively in 365 days a year, then we win. Because unlike the states, y'all have these snap elections, which will probably stress me the hell out. Like, I need to know when my elections are coming up. So when y'all have snap elections, that means if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And what I mean by that means if you're organizing and talking to people in the community all year round, when the election comes out, it won't look like you just showed up. So stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I'm gonna repeat that, y'all. Stay ready so you don't have to what? Stay ready so you don't have to do what? All right, and when we do that, we build movements. Movements become movements that last. So that moment has now turned into a movement. So when we do that, people understand that we are a part of the community. When we do that, they trust us. Because what ends up happening is that the other side always has more money. They always have these slick-ass acts that talk about, the last one, I'm not going to give them liberals a fourth term because of X, Y, Z. No, vote for change, vote for conservatism. When has a conservative ever changed anything for the good? But, I'm getting off script. And what the hell are they trying to conserve? They're not trying to conserve voting rights. They're not trying to conserve the public services. So when y'all think about that, but they have slick ass, they have more people, but you know how you can combat more money? People power. You know how you can combat these terrible ass ads? People power. People power gives you actual power. So, and also the thing about it is that people don't vote with their actual facts. They vote their feelings. So when they're pissed off, they're like, okay, who is the easiest person to blame? The union, because the union's taking money from the government. The liberals, because of this. So when y'all think about y'all talking to them, talk to them like they're real people and actually get them connected. Get their feelings, because again, facts don't matter when your feelings hurt. Conservatives and the other side is really good at making people feel like they're in trouble. As many times they can see that things are changing, but but as many times you tell somebody that it's bad, they start feeling it. If you tell somebody that they're bleeding and they don't see blood, but you keep telling them they're bleeding, eventually they don't think their ass is bleeding. So, but if you're there and they understand what's going on, they'll see that, oh no, that's BS, and let me actually talk to the people in the community. Does that make sense? Okay, y'all, come on, what? Does that make sense? All right, so in my last 4 minutes before we do questions, I'm gonna give y'all 7 calls to action, all right? Oh, let me just say this again. Please, on Monday, whatever happens, if you lose, be pissed off, drink some drink, get up the next day, keep organizing. If you win, celebrate, do what you're gonna do, get up the next day and start organizing. Do not stop organizing. Do not stop organizing. We always organize for the day. But you can't just organize for the day, you have to organize long term. So the day after, take a break. If you win, you can be hungover, but start organizing again. If you lose, you can also be hungover, but start organizing again. The reality is that we give up our own power because we don't make sure that we let people know this is what you're gonna do in office. Okay, personal side. Okay, now to my 7 things. And why 7? 7 is a number of completion. 7 is a number of enlightenment. No, that was me going deep. But organize deep, not just wide. I'm gonna say that again. Organize deep, not just wide. Build real connections across sectors from faculty to healthcare to corrections. You are a one union. Deep, not just wide. Deep, not just wide. Talk to the people you serve. Tell your story. Bring humanity to every conversation. I said the other day, it's about authenticity. Bring who you are to every conversation. Talk to the people that you serve. They need to know that you serve them. They need to know why you're fighting and how that connects to them, okay? So that's the second one. 3, invest in each other. So this is gonna be for the older people who don't know how to get out of the seats. For the young people, mentor someone, lift up a new leader, make space for everyone. I'm gonna repeat that again. Y'all don't need to be in some of these seats for 20, 30, 40 years, okay? Mentor someone else so you actually have a bench to actually get the next person in line. Oftentimes we forget about building a bench. So mentor someone, lift them up, make new leaders, and make space for everyone's voice, all right? Oh, yeah, okay. Number 4, Show up for the community. Be visible at school boards, town hall, community meeting. Our fight is their fight. Their fight is our fight. So you have to be visible. They have to see you. You know, it's not like you. We ain't Jesus, God, or whoever you pray to. You can't say I was walking alongside you. I see you. No, we got to see you alongside us. All right. So whoever you are spiritual about, you are not them. You have to do the work, and people have to see you doing the work. All right. So so do the work. Be visible. And this is my favorite. Fight lies with the truth. Fight lies like they slapped your mama, like they kicked your kid. When I say fight lies, you cannot let any lie stand. When I say that, you cannot let any lie stand, because a lie would be halfway around the world before the truth put its sneakers on. Y'all got to stop that shit. Every time you hear a lie, be like, nope, that's factually incorrect. That's my favorite line on social media, favorite line ever. That is factually incorrect, and here's the truth. Because what happens is that we'll see it's a lie, and be like, I can't believe that they thought that was, no, that think that's true. But you saying you can't believe it, but they're telling you they think it's true, and you ain't stopping them. Fight every lie. Misinformation you cannot let that shit stand. I mean, half of America really thought that Trump was about to put a statue of Jesus in the front line. What the hell? And I know, I've been watching y'all commercials now. Carbon Carney, all this other stuff. Y'all got to start fighting these lies, because y'all are letting people get away with lies. And the reality is that once you hear a lie so many times, they're going to think it's the truth, and they're going to think you crazy. So when you hear a lie and you hear something, it can be your uncle, your grandma, it can be somebody at your family. When they say a lie, be like, nah, grandmama, that ain't it. She might kick you out. You ain't invited to the holiday, but you're going to have to let them know. Fight lies like they slapped your mama. Well, you might not like your mama, like they slapped you. So fight lies like they slapped somebody you like, okay? All right, number 6. Again, stay ready. You don't have to get ready. We already said that. Number 7, the last one. Center dignity, not just demands. Right? When you talk about your demands, you have to talk about why is this bigger than yourself. It's for better schools, safer streets, accessible health care, for the people who can actually afford to live. So you have to center dignity in everything you do. Because when you center dignity in everything you do, everything they do on the other side will become transparent that they're not centering dignity. So dignity, let me say that 5 times fast. If you center dignity in your work, the people will understand what you're doing, and they will actually fight with you. Now, this is not just about building a society where some are actually taken care of. It's about building a society that all are taken care of. The marginalized, the weak, the small. We have to make sure that we are building a society that leaves it better than how we saw it, right? How we came. We have to make sure that young people see the work. The reason why I worked for labor is because my grandfather was a labor member for 70 years. He actually was a bus driver. He actually started on the trains. He was a Pullman porter. But seeing him and the dignity in his work, and seeing how the union worked in the community, when I got an opportunity to work for a union, I did that. My niece, who's now 30, she saw me working in a union. She now did that. When you see this, we cannot make union work seem like it's beneath our next generations. Also, often people feel like, oh, I want better for my children. Showing them a good work ethic, showing them how the union has made sure that they actually got the life they have to live, that's better for next generation. So as we're about to get to the questions and comments and real remarks, because I know there are some out there, but I'm going to leave y'all with this. When you all show people who you are and you show people your heart, they'll understand it. So when we fight, we win. Damn it, y'all, what? I'm gonna need some more energy. I feel like I'm giving y'all energy. I'm still sweating from like 20 minutes ago. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. All right, because guess what? The union's in our hands. The future's in our hands. So if we make sure that our hands is doing the work, it's gonna make for light work. All right? Y'all with me? Y'all with me?